Good morning, Parksiders.
Hi.
It is a foggy day here in Kentucky. This is part 2 of our Kentucky trip.
And it's early. It's 9 in the morning.
So if you haven't watched part 2,
Or part 1.
excuse me, if you haven't watched part 1, you can watch this one and then just go back to part 1. You can do it that way. We are at Bardstown Brewing Company. It was pretty much foggy the entire way here.
Yeah.
It's about a 50-minute drive from Louisville. Not too bad. We are here early.
Very early.
We have a 9 a.m. tour.
No.
TJ doesn't like being up quite this early, at least actively out and about.
No.
So he's still waking up. But even in the fog, it seems like this is a very nice place. There's lots. I don't know if you can see the different warehouses for the bourbon. Let's go in and check it out. Just finished the Bardstown Bourbon Company tour.
Mm-hmm. Who needs coffee? You just do that at 9 in the morning.
That was our wake me up. So they started with a tasting. We got to taste what it, I forget what they call it. You got to taste what it tastes like before it goes into the barrel, which is basically it's moonshine.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, our tour guide Macy, she was so informative. She was so nice.
Yeah, she was great.
Mm-hmm. And I love this place because it's so modern. Everything, there's glass, so it's like open light is coming in everywhere. It's so nice. I would definitely recommend this one for sure.
Yeah, it's very modern. They have a restaurant on site.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have event space too that you can rent out. Definitely add this one to your list. They're relatively new. I think they opened in like 2016 or 2018, somewhere in there. So they're relatively new. In fact, last year they just started to release their own bourbon. Before they were mixing other people's. Now they're making their own because bourbon has to sit for a certain amount of time. We learned actually that it's 2 years, but the more you can let it sit, the better it gets. Mm-hmm. So we are more knowledgeable about bourbon.
More informed,
now.
yeah.
We are definitely more knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. So now we're headed into Bardstown, the historic downtown area of Bardstown. We're gonna, I think, do a little shopping. Hopefully the shops are open. What we found is that the shops...
it's a sleepy town.
It's a sleepy state in terms of the shops and stuff, so hopefully we will. It is now 10:30. Hopefully some of the shops will be open.
It is Saturday, so hopefully so, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. And then we're going to have lunch there, and then we're going to head to Maker's Mark.
Yeah, so it's good.
Let's go. We had a nice walk in the old town of Bardstown, and then we had lunch at the
Old Talbott Tavern.
Old Talbott Tavern. It's from the 1700s. So very cool to be in such a historic place. And yep, so we had lunch there, and now we are on the Maker's Mark property, the distillery for Maker's Mark. Pretty decent sized campus. We're standing under kind of like this covered area that they have just off their welcome building, and then this is like the campus behind us.
It's a lot.
We are a little bit ahead of schedule, so we came in and we asked if we could get an earlier tour time, and they obliged, and so we have an earlier tour time. So it's nice to be a little bit ahead of schedule. Things aren't too far from each other. It seems far, and it seems like a little bit drive on the map, but it's not really.
No, there's no traffic really. And then it's a scenic drive, so it's pretty.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, like yesterday's drives in our video 1, and then today's drives, they're
Very
beautiful.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful.
As far as weather, I would say it's different, because yesterday was a little dreary.
Yesterday was gray.
Yeah, today's a much better day for weather.
So now we just have a few more minutes before we go on the tour.
Yeah, so let's go.
Good afternoon, guests. If you have a paper ticket for the 140 Maker's Mark Tour, head outside to
look at. Now, the reason why this is such an important spot for us, this is the spot where Bill and Margie Samuels, our co-founders, came in 1953. 4 seasons in a day out here. It's great. Well, guys, welcome to our operating distillery. They do either the corner week or the Petersons and the Madden.
Whatever ones will be open.
Well, guys, we made it. It's drinking time. Before we start, I'd like to show, especially on the breakfast show, welcome to Kentucky and welcome to Bourbon. If you get that, just take a nice exhale out, nice and slow. But all this first guys, Maker's Mark 90 crew, classic #1. Just want to say cheers first. But what was our favorite out of all four? Not all five. Go as far down as you want. Come on, you guys. Get your cameras out. This is going to be for that red wax that we're so known for. The blues are going to be for our Kentucky limestone water, and the oranges, yellows, and red colors, those are going to be for our
I really enjoyed Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
The distillery tour there. I thought the property was beautiful. Lots of history there.
They push a lot of groups through there too. They do it like every 10 minutes. There's a lot of people that go through there.
Yeah, they really trim through them. I would say too, I don't know, but it seemed like if you just want to show up, they might just slip you into a group, even if they don't show online availability. No promises there, but we did show up and they adjusted our group, and it worked out perfectly.
And I feel like honestly, you could just show up and go to the gift shop.
Yes, you can. You definitely could. You could just walk down from the visitor parking lot. Yeah, and just walk down in there to the gift shop.
I thought it was cool that you could dip your own bottle that you buy into the wax, but we couldn't do it because we'd have to travel home with it.
We don't have any checked luggage
Yeah.
this trip. We're traveling light because it's really only a 3-night trip, so we're traveling
2 full days,
light. Yeah, but for those who are driving or those who want to just go ahead and check luggage, there's lots of opportunity to buy unique bottles as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think all the distilleries have unique bottles that you could purchase only there, especially Maker's Mark. They were really,
Yeah, quite a few.
at the end, they were telling us all the different ones you could buy in the shop. So after Maker's Mark, we headed to Ernie's Tavern, which is in Bloomfield, and this place is owned by Jerry Bruckheimer, the famous producer, who produced tons of movies for Disney.
Yeah.
And I believe he and his wife own the antique shop building across the street, and we started at the antique shop.
There's so much in there.
It was really good. You know, it was clean.
Yep.
It was well curated. It wasn't smelly.
It was well
I mean,
kept,
it smelled like grandma's because of it was very vintage stuff, but it was not. You know, some antique shops, you walk in and
there's
it's
like
just
dust everywhere.
a mess.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's like unorganized chaos.
Right. It's more of a museum.
But this, yeah, it's very well kept.
We enjoyed that. We weren't, we're not like antique shop people. Like we don't like. I mean, I enjoy going in one, but we're not like seeking that out all the time.
Yeah.
So we were I was kind of like, okay, but I definitely think you could add that to your stop as you're going through Kentucky, because it is, and it's also the small little street section that it is, like the downtown section of Bloomfield. It's very clean,
Like a movie set.
yeah, very well kept. There's no all the signage looks like it belongs. It's very cohesive. You can tell that, I'm sure Linda Bruckheimer and had something to do with it, and maybe Jerry too, like saying, okay, it's going to be clean and tidied and it's going to look like a movie set, because it did. And we had like a little late lunch snack in the at Ernie's.
Which the arcade, yeah.
My favorite were the tots. I thought the tots were really
yeah.
good. And you can bowl in there. There's billiard tables, and I can tell it gets very rowdy, I'm sure. There was a rowdy crew come through.
There's a bar in there too, so you could, you tell they're about to have a good time.
Those people had come in on one of the bourbon vans, because you'll see it when
there's a lot of like mint julep tour guides.
Yeah, it's called the Mint Julep Tours or something, but they have these big, party bus vans, and they're taking people around on the Bourbon Trail.
You'll see it everywhere.
And these people have come in on one of those.
Which I genuinely want to come back and do that, because that looks so fun.
That would be fun to have a group of people to do it with. And so we are next day here. We're in a parking garage of the Brown Hotel. The Brown Hotel is a famous historic hotel here in Louisville. It is where the Kentucky hot brown sandwich was invented. I'm guessing that's why it's called the hot brown, because it was invented at the Brown Hotel. And so we are having brunch here this morning. Our reservation is in just a few minutes, so we will tell you about that once we have experienced it. It was a very short drive from Hotel Genevieve.
7 minutes.
Yeah, very short. So let's go in and have brunch. we are home now,
Yep, finally.
and we just, in the moment, we did not finish our thoughts on camera while we're on the trip, so we're finishing them here. The Brown Hotel had a very nice brunch.
Yeah, it was very good.
And you can order a la carte the Kentucky Hot Brown sandwich. So we did order that a la carte.
Yeah, and they gave us some little history behind it, too.
Yes, some history. We ordered a half portion, which was funny because
that was huge.
It was huge when it came out to us. I was like, that is the half portion?
And our server, she was like, yeah, that's the half. The full, they usually, it's in the same pot, but then they just stack it up vertically. I'm like, oh, okay.
I liked the hot brown at the Brown Hotel.
Because it's the OG, and it was very good.
I would hope that I would like it better there.
Yeah.
Because...
You had a different version of it when we first got to Kentucky.
So when we first got there, in the Derby gift shop, the Kentucky Derby Museum cafe, excuse me, I had a panini-style hot brown, and I liked it. It had the Mornay sauce. You dipped the sandwich into the Mornay sauce, and I actually liked it. It was a good take on it.
Yeah.
The more traditional one I had at Old Talbot Inn was not as great. It was all right, but the flavor wasn't quite there. But the one at the Brown Hotel was good. It was probably my favorite food item during our trip. It was good, and it was part of the culture of Kentucky. So I really enjoyed it. I think TJ liked it too.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
I will try to recreate it at some point for a party. It's not something that you want to necessarily have every day at home.
Because it's kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's a little heavy.
It was originally made for like Thanksgiving, right?
It was made around that time because that's how the turkey got included. But really what it was made for was like late in the evening when you've been partying and you need something to soak up the alcohol and you just need that late night food. So thank you so much to the Brown Hotel for their hospitality. They were so kind. And yes, we do have a recipe now, the one straight from... Yep. It's on their website too.
Yeah, so you can check that out. We'll put that down there.
And so we're back home now. We're kind of looking back at the trip. I really loved Kentucky. I love the countryside of Kentucky. Definitely is a place where you kind of want to go in every season to see it in every season.
Because they honestly have every season.
Even snow. I know they have snow, but it would probably especially great in the spring and in the fall when the leaves are changing. But my favorite experience was Maker's Mark, for sure. I really liked the Maker's Mark Distillery and all the history behind that. And it's just a brand that we're familiar with. I mean, we have it right here, right now in the kitchen. So it's just a brand that we're familiar with. So I really enjoyed seeing where it comes from. What about you?
I think my favorite was probably Bardstown, the brewery there, because it was much more modern. And you truly got a sense of like a family vibe there because they were learning as well as creating their own. So it was nice. They were taking a bit of history and then making their own with it.
And Macy was probably my favorite
tour
guide of all the 3 distilleries that we did and the 4 tastings that we did. Macy was probably my favorite. You could tell she was passionate.
Yeah, you could tell she loved what she
This
does.
wasn't just a job for her. Like, she was passionate. It was more than just about drinking bourbon per se. It was like she was passionate about it. So kudos to Macy, and I'm glad that Bardstown has her leading tours. She was very happy to be leading tours too, you could tell.
Yeah, hats off to her.
So thank you so much to the state of Kentucky and Kentucky Tourism.
We'll definitely be back, yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for having us out for this media visit. We appreciate that, and thank you guys for following along. If you have any questions or recommendations for Kentucky, put them down in the comments. Make sure to check out our Patreon as well. We did dump some stuff during the trip exclusive to the Patreon.
Yeah, some more behind the scenes stuff.
So check out our Patreon as well, and like and subscribe.
Yeah, and then stay tuned for the next trip because I believe we're going to. Do you want to say?
No, we're gonna
we're gonna surprise you.
We're surprise you, but we are working with another tourism department now. We're actually working with 2, so we just close to signing an agreement on the next one. One is confirmed, so April will be another busy month. May will be another busy month. Thank you for coming along. And like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and join us over on Patreon.
Yeah, until next time.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.